Welcome back. We're here to cover the divine feminine energy for this week, moving into the month of July as well, because I have been getting significant messages for the following months. And I'm definitely seeing from divine feminine's read here in the mix of some situations happening when it comes to the law of attraction and your chakras. This can be due to the astrology, I will say, especially because I do tend to, from a coaching point of view and a spiritual point of view, the astrology can indicate where your ascension process is coming from, and it's coming up very significantly, which does indicate there is a transition coming. Why I started looking at that was for me to actually spiritually cope through my ascension process and know when those waves were coming. So you have your ascension and your descension moments, and I do feel you're in this transitional field. I feel divine feminine here. The first thing I heard was sacral chakra and solar plexus. It's not to say it's going to be the only energy playing out, but because we have the yellow chakra coming up, the courage, this is the yellow and orange chakra I'm seeing really significantly coming up for divine feminine. I kind of get this feeling that you're in the midst of wondering what to pour your energy into. Now, could this be, I call them sloppy chakras, so it could be that they've been overutilized, overstimulated, and they need recharging. Sometimes they can be overactive, sometimes they can be underactive, and so there could be a spiritual blockage coming up in this. It could be an old wound. This can be to do with your creativity, your personal empowerment, healthy boundaries. If that's a good thing, if it's a bad thing, what to pour your energy into. And again, the high heart chakra. So we'll read the card. Harnessing the loyal and protective aura. The lion and change ahead magnifies. Again, I'm just feeling the courage energy to balance your solar plexus and sacral chakra. We are looking at the past position here also. The inner trust. You do know who you are. But you are being introduced to a new version of yourself. This, with the balancing of the chakras and your future with your twin flame path as well, with the joint connection, I do feel, sometimes we do get to this pivotal point in our lives where our inner truth and our base needs do come to the forefront, and it can feel very awkward when these things happen. I do feel divine feminine has felt that they have undersold themselves. So yes, it can go to egotistical levels, and then it can bounce back to realistic and balanced and harmony levels. You're doing the balancing. You're balancing the books at the moment. And I feel there's a revelation. I also feel if you've given too much of your chi energy and you're trying to look at this from a creative point of view, I feel if you balance those two chakras, you're going to see things clearly. And I hear the song, I can see clearly now the rain has gone. And I feel this is a transitional time moving into the next month where divine feminine, there is going to be sweet offers, there is going to be sweet offerings, but you're looking at how you can do something different within this joint connection, as well as in your own individual life, so that you can have a better outcome. But I feel the key to it is to pause, not to criticize yourself, and to review. So this inner trust, go back to the core root of who you are. Again, the second house is to do with income, finances, wealth, personal value. You are reviewing this. You are going through a rebirth, and what you invested in yourself is going to reap rewards. Now, do be aware that as we are transitioning into this Jupiter and Gemini, there can be a lot of communication. There can be a need to be your own individual entity, as well as wanting to have a joint connection. So there can be this push-pull dynamic that we are integrating at this point in time. It's also going to give us a lot of opportunities to really reflect upon creativity, expansion, brighter horizons in different ways. There also could be a lot of people saying very different things that could be conflicting. They could be really confusing how we're perceiving the world around us. And it is an opportunity for us to grow through our third eye, also through our belief systems, and I do feel our belief systems are going to be expanding. You may also, from a spiritual point of view, notice people around you that are directly being impacted by things maybe that affected you back in 2017, and you looking at it from a very different set of lens. Yeah, it's almost like you're observing individuals, as well as it could be a feeling that you're getting in hunch energy, that there could be something going on with your twin, and it could be quite large. That they maybe are in a storm. You can get some psychic downloads relating to this. I also get this very significant message, especially because this also did come through in the karmic third party read. So if you haven't seen that, go through and have a look. Is that because we will have Neptune going retrograde, we can become quite disillusioned. So if you're aware of why this is happening, you're not going to become gullible into it that you are delusional. You're actually going to realize it's a time to take an audit. It's a time to actually find these solutions so you can get to the next level. And I actually feel you're ahead of the curve. So I'm seeing here through the fire and through the eagle card as the outcome card, is that this is, if you go back to who you are and you know who you are and you know where you've been, this outcome card is actually extremely positive, but you're going to have to take a bird's eye view. I feel this is going to give you an opportunity to get ahead of the crowd, and you could be burning some bridges, you could be burning some things down, but you're also going to be recharging. And if you can just take this slight opportunity this week as we're transitioning over, I feel your passions are going to reignite, especially if you were saying to yourself, I don't even know if I have strong feelings for this individual anymore. I don't have any passion. It's to recharge those chakras so that you can get to the base reality of being the old version of yourself with the new version, because we're always changing. And I feel you're going to have the courage to face some of these truths inside yourself and reevaluate where some of these circumstances are transitioning to. I definitely get that some of you by midweek moving into the new, I do feel some of you are going to get significant psychic downloads and potentially even attacks. So I'll definitely do a crystal grid, and I'll be looking at different ways that you can protect yourself. Also, you could actually get some information that is in relationship to TF, and it could be to do with some big changes and shakeups that are happening. And I think this is going to reignite your passions. You're going to also be very assertive when it comes to your desires, what you're wanting, and taking a bird's eye view of seeing how that different new approach is going to be. But I definitely feel some of you, there could be this snooping energy happening. As to information after you receive information, or you get a trigger, you get a psychic download, maybe have a dream. There could be this viewing on social media. Hey, is it matching with something that I'm picking up psychically? I feel there's an investigation here, but I definitely see a big transition for divine feminine and some big changes that are coming in your future. We're going to go into clarifying, and we're going to see what they want us to know about this outcome card. Yeah, I feel this is your destiny. I feel you're having a revelation of what direction to go, where you're going, what you're wanting to do. Yeah, have faith in yourself. I do think this is to do with Neptune and Pisces going retrograde. It's going to be in that shadow energy, and many of you are going to pick it up this month. Okay, so at this point in the energy, if you do become disillusioned, psychic attacks, out-of-body experiences, they're going to be very, very large. You also do need to be very careful about, using substances. This can really affect your chakras and your ascension process and open you up to psychic attacks. So really looking after the body, maybe eating fatty acids. Again, this is not medical advice. These are some tips maybe that you could use, or to do your research and due diligence. Yeah, something old is being up for review, but it's definitely time for a detox. And it's going to be a rebirth here, and it's almost like you're going to be I just keep hearing ahead of the curve. I would definitely, with Chiron going retrograde next month, look after your health, protect your wellness, be prepared. Yeah, this person is actually, I feel with your counterpart, this person is actually realizing that some of the things that you saw in the future maybe were correct. They're also seeing a different perspective relating to a karmic cycle, and they're no longer in their heads to do with you or a circumstance. And I also feel for some of you, there is a possibility of a message coming through. I will check in with this energy next week. Tell me how this lands, and if you have any juicy gossip, feel free to share.